Hello, beautiful pride. Welcome to Enlightened Lioness. Thank you for joining me. I am Nicole. I am a spiritual life coach and empowerment specialist. I wanted to jump on and share a story of a message I received this week. And it was kind of a comical one, but it ended up turning into a very profound message for me on my journey. So I wanted to share it with you, and hopefully it will resonate with many of you, and it'll be something you need to hear. I'll start by saying that I have a beautiful cat named Vision, and he was a gift given to me. He's a transplant from a mountain home. He was an outdoor cat for 5 years, and now he is an indoor outdoor, loving his house cat life, but he is still an avid hunter. So he brings home many things, mostly lizards and mice. But the other day, he decided to bring me an extra special gift, and he brought home a baby snake. And the snake ended up in the middle of our living room floor, and I was by myself. There was nobody here. And I thought, oh my gosh, okay. I don't know what he's going to do with this thing, but I would rather he needs to take it outside. And I watched him play with it like a toy. He never killed it. He just played with it like a hockey puck and a rope. And I thought, oh my goodness, okay, I need to find a way to get this snake out of the house. And I'm terrified. I prefer snakes outside, not visible. Definitely not in my living room. So I work up the nerve after a few hours to get a broom and sweep it out the door. And I thought, okay, that's done. And I was messaging a friend of mine about it, and I'm freaking out, going, oh, it was awful. And she said, well, maybe it's a good omen. And I thought, oh, yeah, sure. Okay, snake in my living room, good omen. And I do know that in many cultures they're revered and they have amazing spiritual qualities. However, like I said, for me, I wasn't on the bandwagon of it being a positive thing. So the next day, Vision brings in another snake. And I went, oh my gosh, a different baby snake. It was smaller, but it was still same species. And I don't know if it's poisonous, and I don't know where he's getting them from. So I again work up the nerve. I get that snake out the door, and I end up telling my property manager that, my cat's brought in two snakes in the past few days, and I took a photo of one of them and I sent it to her. Well, I found out that where I live, snakes are under civil protection, so you cannot just kill them or remove them if you find a nest. You have to have you have to call the police, and they have to come and remove them. So the next thing that I know, I have policemen and firemen here at my house, and they descend and they go through every inch of my home, every inch of the yard with broomsticks looking for these snakes. And they did end up finding one. They found one baby snake, and luckily it was not a poisonous species, so I felt much better about that. But it was so comical having all of these first responders, in my bedroom, in the bathroom, and the kitchen, everywhere. They were just all over the place, fully clad in their gear with broomsticks, just going through everything, looking for these snakes. So at the end, everybody leaves, and I'm exhausted, and I'm laughing, and I'm a little overwhelmed. And I thought, okay, if anything, this has been a hilarious experience. But let me do some research on snakes. And the spiritual qualities that they have are absolutely wonderful. I mean, they represent transformation and rebirth and, spiritual wisdom. So there was so many great things about them. But the message that ended up coming to me from all of this, as I am, digesting everything that happened, is this is where I am on my journey right now. I am in the middle of a major transformation. I am shedding old belief systems. I am shedding old habits. There is a major happening, and I've been overwhelmed with many things lately. I've felt like the poor baby snake being tossed around like a toy and then swept out the door, and thinking, okay, this is it. I can't take this anymore. I've had a lot of challenges going on in my personal life, and then launching Enlightened Lioness. And it's just been a lot of overwhelm. And, you keep pushing forward, but there's just those moments where you're asking yourself, why? Why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening this way? Why don't I have the support from, my family or my friends or this person or whatever? And you're asking yourself, you're feeling rejected. Whatever the case may be, the message for me was how very protected we are on our journey. When we have a sacred calling, when we have a life purpose that we are meant to fulfill, you're so protected in all of that. to the point that you don't even know about the protection that you do have. And all of the right people are going to show up for you to advocate for your highest good, for your best interest when you need them. And even if it feels like, you know, whether it's a job or a partner or a family member or a friend, whatever the case may be, where you're feeling like you're being swept out the door and it's a rejection, it's literally to save your life, whether it's figuratively or, actual. So the message for me was how protected I am and how everything that we go through, even if it feels like the worst rejection, like this is the end and, there's nowhere else to go and we're about to be devoured by this cat, that you are protected. The right people are going to show up and they're going to descend in numbers that will blow your mind for little old you. And they are going to be exactly what you need when you need it. And it is for absolute everything for your highest good to allow you to transform to that next level. So end up turning this extremely chaotic, funny, and traumatic experience into this very profound message for me that I felt like many of you needed to hear. So I hope that the story brought you at least a laugh. And if not, the message that came with it is helpful. And to just tell you to keep trusting and to keep pushing forward and take all of those rejections and overwhelm and all of those feelings that make you feel like you can't move, that you're paralyzed, that everything is going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to, in probably an even more beautiful and better way than you could imagine. So I wanted to share that all with you, and hopefully it resonates and hopefully you took something from it. If you want to book coaching with me, you can find me on enlightenedlioness.com. And thank you for all the likes, shares, and subscribes, and I will see you in my next video.